Custom Garden Solutions installs a lot of raised bed gardens. But if you're in a hot and arid climate, like here in just outside of Phoenix, or even if you're in a colder climate, or you have difficulties getting around the garden, maybe difficult to bend over, or if you just like cool looking gardens, then stay tuned because this episode's for you. Hey everybody, I'm Alan Schaefer with Custom Garden Solutions. In today's exciting episode, I'm just outside of Phoenix, Arizona, and I have a very effective and interesting garden bed installation to share with you. So let's get started. So many of you are familiar with raised bed gardens. And raised bed gardens are great in the right context. They're great where you don't have good drainage of water. They're great if you want to control irrigation more precisely. They're great in cool weather climates because when the ground stays frozen, a raised bed garden will thaw quicker so you can get to gardening faster or earlier in the season. They're great for people with disabilities or have trouble bending over and getting around. They're great because they look cool. But have you ever considered a sunken garden bed? Well, we have, and we got a really cool sunken bed garden installation to share with you today. So let's talk about the benefits of Bob and Phyllis's sunken bed garden. And to understand the benefits, you need to understand the context a little bit. Remember, I'm just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. We're in the Sonoran Desert. It's the desert, and it can get extremely hot and dry here. It's not unusual in the Phoenix area to hit 115 degrees several times in the summer. So the first benefit of a sunken bed garden for Bob and Phyllis was water. When it rains, water goes to the lowest point and it settles. And so it's going to settle in this area at the bottom of their raised bed garden. The second main benefit is since they're using a sunken bed garden, it's going to keep the roots and the soil and the plants cooler, especially those delicate roots. So they're going to be cooler and they're going to be well irrigated. The third main benefit of Bob and Phyllis's sunken bed garden is accessibility. So they wanted to not have to struggle to bend over and to work in the garden. Most of the garden is above, I'm 6 foot tall, it's above right about my knee level. So if I want to pick some beans or check out my zucchini squash, put the plant tag back in there, or pick some lettuce, I'm able to do so without having to bend over too much or really do much maneuvering or put much strain on my body. So water, cooling off the plants, accessibility, three main reasons for a sunken bed garden. Let me show you around because this is really cool. So when you walk in the garden, through the door, there's a little bit of a ramp going into the garden. And they've put a little handle right here, to help make sure you don't fall. And on the left side here, they're getting ready to plant. They've got some strawberries back there in the back. And in the middle, they've got some beans and some zucchini squash. And let's take a hop over here to get some peppers right down here in front of me. And they've got some lettuce growing, some carrots, not sure what that is in the corner, but you get a good idea of what they've done here. It's just very, worked out very well for them. I know they're very happy with this type of design. And then on the side, you can see in the back they've got a nice working area, but on the side here, they've got some strawberries growing. Some of these are about ready. See some pinkish ones in there. So that's a good look at the garden. In the back here they have some tomatoes, and they haven't dug a trench around it, but they have sunken in the garden a foot or a foot and a half, and there's not that much maintenance or service needed to be done to them, and they can easily pick tomatoes, so they haven't put those in the sunken gardens. All right, so I always save the best for last, or I try to. Sometimes I don't. I mix it up. I keep you guessing. But I'm in the second sunken bed garden. And this one's a little bit different in that it's just one sunken bed, like a keyhole. And if you're noticing something as I'm walking around in here, again, this is about just above my knee. And in this one, pavers were used on the inside down here instead of wood, like in the first sunken bed garden. And they're growing some beets, and they look good. Some jalapeno peppers, some asparagus, some cayenne peppers. What do we got here? And some cucumbers. All right, just to tell you what we're growing. But what's really cool is this structure. So this is just conduit, and they've got 7 supports and 1 ridge pole going down the middle. Now, all they're using to connect these are PVC. So it's working super good, and they can use this for frost protection. Believe it or not, here in the desert, here in Arizona, it'll get down to 32 degrees or around there sometimes. The last 2 winters, we've had situations like that where we had to get out and cover our plants as a precaution. It probably would have been okay, but we covered them anyway. So they're able to put this up for frost protection. Now, so they would put poly up for the frost protection, but also in December and January, sometimes it's, you might hit a stretch where it's only going to be 60, 65 degrees out, maybe even the high 50s, maybe too much rain, a lot of rain. So they could put poly up just to give their plants a little bit more warmth so that they grow a little faster, and so they're a little bit more protected. Again, we're in the desert. They can use this structure to put up shade cloth. I just did an episode about shade cloth, and that'll keep the heat down quite a bit. Here you'd probably use 70 or 80% shade cloth. When it gets 115 degrees out, that'll help to protect some of your plants from the heat pressure. And the last thing, I did an episode on this just recently, is you can put up insect netting. I tend to use Protect Net insect netting. I use a couple times. I just did an episode on Protect Net where I talk all about that. But when it starts to get warmer here, when it goes from winter to spring, believe it or not, we do get some humidity and some rain, and aphids become a big issue here. So this will protect against aphids if you use insect netting. So this second raised bed is really neat. It comes with this structure, and I thought you guys would find that interesting. Let me show you around the rest of the garden. All right, in the back of this garden, the bed in the back is just using cinder blocks. Now, one negative of the cinder blocks is in the heat here, you don't want to have plants within just a few inches of the cinder blocks. But what is going on here is they're actually using artichokes. And see, the artichokes are, a foot off the middle. And matter of fact, there's artichokes there. I mean, there must be 15 artichokes there. And they are looking super healthy. And that is going to be one good artichoke harvest. Right below us, we have another bed. And there's a close-up of how those cinder blocks interlock. And I think that helps quite a bit. And in this bed, we're growing some carrots. So some carrots for Bob and Phyllis in this garden. So here's a good look at the garden. So here's a good look at the second sunk bed garden. And as we go behind the asparagus, you can see the keyhole. And they have a little walkway on the side so that they can easily get around. And they've got the two beds in the back that I've showed you. Nice little place to sit down. And some plants on the side. So, if you're in a hot, arid climate and heat and water are an issue, or if you have mobility challenges and accessibility and maneuverability is an issue, then Sunken Bed Gardens might be right for you. Hey, if you got any value out of this episode and you learned anything, you could provide value back to Custom Garden Solutions by commenting, by liking, by subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. YouTube likes that, and it helps our channel, and I'd appreciate it. I'm Alan Schaefer at Custom Garden Solutions. Our channel is all about helping you grow herbs and vegetables and all kinds of cool garden stuff so that you can live a healthier and happier life. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn all about growing herbs and vegetables and all kinds of cool garden stuff, start today by subscribing. And so you don't miss anything, hit the notification bell, because you never know what I'm going to be talking about next. And it's starting to rain. It never rains in Arizona really that much, but it's raining now. Glad the episode's over, because you don't want to see a wet Schaefer dog. Oh, what do we have here? Oh, we're in the desert. It's a snake. All right, everybody. When you have a snake, poisonous or not, you just need to sneak up behind it and grab by the neck. Get it. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God. I got it. Go. Go. It got me in the neck. I don't think I'm gonna make it. It got me in the neck. The snake got me in the neck. I don't think I'm gonna make it. My last wish is for somebody to publish this episode on YouTube. I think I'm gonna be all right. I think I'm gonna be all right. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. All right, if you want to get that hair in place. What's up with that? All right, so I always save the best for last. Or I try to. Sometimes I don't. I mix it up. Schaefer dog, Schaefer dog, Schaefer dog.